Welcome to Plan Watch Walk, the channel that brings you some of the best walking around. If you like what we do, why not subscribe and hit the bell? It'll help us massively. And if you like what we do, why not tell some of your fellow walkers as well? We've got all the information of each of the walks in blogs on our website. See the footnote below for the blog page for this walk. And also at the end of the walk, there's a load of quite interesting stats about what we did on the walk today. So stay with us till the end and have a look at that. So we'll catch up with you soon. We leave Horton in Riversdale and head up towards Pen-y-ghent, our first peak at 2,277 feet, before pulling down into the valley and heading along towards the Ribble Head Viaduct, where we then head up towards Whernside, our second peak at 2,415 feet, then move on once again through to Ingleborough, our third and last peak at 2,372 feet, and then we pull down and eventually come back down and complete the walk in Horton in Riversdale once again. Morning everyone, we're leaving the car park. It's a Wednesday morning and the car park's already getting full and it's just turned 7 o'clock. So worth coming early for your early start of the walk. We're going to be heading up the road now and commencing the Three Peaks. We've just left the car park, just where those signs are for the narrow bridge, and we come in the road here, just on our right. Got a sign up here, footpath to Pen-y-ghent, 3 1/4. So we'll immediately head off up road here and up the path and start the trail. So continue along the road, we come to some farm buildings here on our left, and there's a wee sign here for Pen-y-ghent summit. Can we see it? 1 3/4. So it's pretty well signposted to Pen-y-ghent. See on the gate here ahead of us, there's some signs up to the left for the path. And we start the walk up to Pen-y-ghent itself. Well, you can see behind us we've got the valley with Horton Riversdale in it, and we're just climbing up really to the start of the slope for Pen-y-ghent, and you can see the typical terrain around us. It's definitely well trodden, the path, that's for sure. And as we come over the brow, we've got Pen-y-ghent just ahead of us there. We'll just come to the top of the path. We've got a gate, we've got the, there we go, got the signage for Pen-y-ghent up ahead of us here. So that's the next bit of the climb. For those that can remember, looks like a bit of a stairway to heaven. Let's hope it's heaven when we get to the top. Not much further now to the top. As you can see, you're never too far away from people on the walk. Those people doing the Yorkshire Three Peaks. We've done the majority of the rock face climbing. We're now on a solid path just up to the top of Pen-y-ghent. Well, if we have a look around, now on top of Pen-y-ghent, and you get some tremendous views. Got the trig point at the top here. And if we look over, see if I can do this walking backwards, if we look over just behind us we've got the signs, and we've got the Yorkshire Three Peaks. It's all well signed and a great view. There's a guy recently passed me just before there, and he turned around and he said, "Not a bad place to be." I tend to agree. It's just so tranquil here. Anyway, behind us we've got Pen-y-ghent that we're just pulling back off. You can see over my right shoulder here, there's the walk coming down. Well, it's great to see the paths are all being maintained and everything. You've got to take your hat off to the rangers who do all this work and keep the paths in good condition for the likes of you and I who are going out walking and enjoying it. Well, for those of you who've watched a few videos, you'll know that I keep turning around and saying we've got to look behind and keep looking behind. That's why I say keep looking behind. Just marvellous. That's come down off Pen-y-ghent. We've got the path meandering its way down, and we're heading over now, starting to move onward to Whernside. Path still looking good as it cuts across the fells here. Cracking day for it. Well, we're just able to see in the valley around about here first sighting of the Ribblesworld Viaduct, the train viaduct. So that's going to be our next major point of reference, and as you can see we're just walking through the valley now. It's really pleasant. I would just like to say hello to all the people who met along the way. I hope you enjoy the walk and the video, and for everyone who's watched the video before, thank you very much. Subscribers, the biggest thank of all. Thanks everyone, hope you're enjoying it, and thanks for your continuing support. Catch you soon. Well, we've come down from Pen-y-ghent. We can just see in the background, probably somewhere over here, and we've walked across the fell. It's been a really pleasant walk actually, and we've now farmhouses and everything behind us, so we are coming up. We're not far off the Ribbleshead Viaduct, so as we come up from the farm behind us here, we're picking up the road we can see ahead. Just to prove it, there's a truck going by, and then we need to follow this road down to the Ribbleshead Viaduct. Not for very far, I think it's about a mile or so, and then we'll pull back off the road again. As we near the end of the section along the road, we've got the viaduct, Ribbleshead Viaduct, coming up just ahead of us here, and got the lights of a train going over the top of it as well. Well, we've just passed over the road. We're heading up towards the viaduct. So the viaduct ahead of us here, and behind us we've got Whernside itself. So the path itself goes round in front of the viaduct, and if you can see it just pops over by those trees to the right, skirts up slightly to the side, and then pulls back across on top of Whernside. vantage point we've got here. We've got Whernside just ahead of us, the railway line just to our right, you can see it just there. We've got the viaduct, and just over on our right in the background we've got Pen-y-ghent. What a great path this is on the way up. You can see it just meandering up the side of the fell here. Then we've got the trek along to the top of Whernside. Well, we're leaving Worthdale behind us. We can just see in the background there we've got the cairn. If we just do a quick pan round, we've got the valley behind us here. Just beautiful. That's where we're heading to next. We're just walking along the crest of Worthdale, and ahead of us here we've got Ingleborough, where we're heading to next. But if we just pan round and have a look into the valley, get a cracking view of the viaduct there, and then you can just see the path meandering its way through. And in the heat haze now we've got Pen-y-ghent, but the views from up here, pretty stunning. It's an interesting path going down. It's like someone's made a crazy paving set of steps. There are steps, but they're all over the place. But yeah, it's better than not having the steps, but you just got to take your time and be quite sure under your foot. But everything's going well, really enjoying the walk. It's hardly surprising when we're looking at what we've got around. Marvellous. So you can see up ahead there, that's the crazy paving staircase. It's quite interesting, people are just taking their time. Anyway, we've just come down off the top of Whernside. Ahead of us now we've got the descent heading into the valley, across the fields, and then we're going to be heading up onto Pen-y-ghent. Well, that's Ingleborough, the third peak, and it looks quite intimidating from here, but that said, so do the other two, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Onward and upward. Well, there's a sign, so we'll come down to the farm here for hot drinks. Let's go and have a look and see what we can get. And bar open, vending machine. Well, we had some success. Really good. A nice cold apple drink. Hopefully it'll revitalise a bit and get us ready for the last one. Anyway, continue on. I've been saying that the signage is really good. When you come down past the farmhouses, come down to the main road, and there's no signs. You need to turn left, and actually you've got Ingleborough ahead of you, so you need to turn left. Head up the road for a wee while, only 100, maybe it's 200 yards I think it is, and then turn right, and then hopefully the signage is going to be back to normal again. So we've come up, we passed the old hill, see these people heading off across. So just the other side of the bush here you've got Ingleborough 2.5, heading off across the fields again. So we're just pulling up from the pub. I just think it's worth noting that when we get around Ingleborough around here, the signage doesn't seem to be as good as it's been previously for the Three Peaks. That said, the signage so far has been pretty spot on, to be perfectly honest. So just follow signs for Ingleborough and you're going to be on the right track. So we've got Ingleborough, Peak 3 ahead of us. See if we can do this. We've got the path which takes us to here. Not sure if you can see, but the path starts going up the hill and then it peaks coming up here. That last bit there is pretty steep, so it's either, depending on what you think, interesting or scary, but I'll show you more of it when we get closer. So this is the last descent up to Ingleborough. It's near vertical, more or less. To you, or to me, is this interesting or is it scary? Let us know what you think in the comments below, especially if you've done the walk. Well, I'm about a third of the way up. Got a bit to go. Well, we've come up some far. Well, in conclusion, what is interesting or was it scary? The answer is actually yes, it was interesting, but at times it's near vertical and all you need is 1 foot wrong, which is a bit scary. Anyway, a little bit more of a climb and then we're on the top. Well, just when you think you're at the top, there's another flight of stairs. But that now is the top, so not too far. Well, we're approaching the summit of Ingleborough. And that was a bit of a climb to get up to here. So 20 miles roughly, and then you've got quite a climb. Makes it interesting, but nearly there. Another couple 100 metres. So on top of third one now, Ingleborough, and we've got people taking selfies at the summit, trig point, and we're pulling round. Hell of a view. And then as we do 360 straight ahead of us, got Pen-y-ghent. So we need to be heading back the way we've come, down a little bit of a scree path area, and then we're going to be heading back down into the valley. So as we come back down off Ingleborough, we take the road that we came up, but we bear off to the right at this point and we pull round, and you can see ahead of us the path as it meanders its way back down into Houghton and Riversdale. So the path down is pretty straightforward and a nice end to a great walk. Following the path back into Houghton and Riversdale, which is from this point another 2 miles. It's funny, the end, you expect the end to be quicker, I think, at times, and this is one of those walks I didn't think it was going to take as long to come down. I've done this a couple of times, this walk. I don't remember the end being this long, but maybe that's just wishful thinking. But anyhow, a couple of miles, we're going to be there. Not much further now. Well, there's a pleasing sight. That's Houghton and Riversdale. It looks as if it's probably about a mile, and it's nearly at the end. Very pleasing sight. I think it's just worth having a look at the walking statistics from this walk. The distance, as we know, is 24 miles. Of the 3 peaks, Whernside being 736 metres is the tallest, with Pen-y-ghent being the shortest of the 3 of them. The overall ascent and descent is 1,444 metres, which is sort of interesting because if you think about Ben Nevis, which from sea level is 1,334, and you don't walk that distance when you're actually walking at Ben Nevis. Duration is typically 12 hours. I managed to pull in 11 and a quarter. So I hope you found that interesting. Well, that concludes the walk. It's been testing, it's been trying, it's been great fun, it's been very enjoyable. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please hit the subscribe button, it helps us massively. All the planning and the routing and everything is in the blog, link below. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you on future walks. Bye for now.